I bet you there are some people that do. I don't know if it's the majority. It's probably a minority.
Would you notice an inch or two, Rose?
Depends on what we're measuring.
Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our SaVeg take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast.
Hi there!
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this week's episode of the SaVeg podcast.
Woohoo! We back.
We are back, and we are back talking about some
juicy
frustrating
news.
topics and
Okay.
frustrating people. I think that's the...
Oh my God. I guess that's the theme of today.
Oh my God, the theme of today is frustrating people. And
Oh
people
God, you guys.
Yeah.
People are awful.
And for once, it's not going to be Candace Owens. Shocker. My
Oh
favorite
my
person.
God. We're like jumping right
Oh,
in.
goddamn.
Are we?
But
first,
yeah.
guys, we have a Patreon shout out.
Yeah.
We have to give a huge thanks to Kartika for joining our Patreon. Woo!
Welcome to our Patreon family. And Rose, what do our patrons get?
They get a bonus episode every single month, which is something that we are recording right after this.
We sure are.
And that is only exclusive to our Patreon members. And they get the episodes a week earlier than everyone else. So it's going to be a lot more timely. And you get ad-free content. So ad-free video and audio.
Yep.
And and just better interaction with us.
Oh,
and
goddamn.
And a shout out.
Yes. And a shout out as well.
Yay.
Don't forget about that.
So don't forget to join our Patreon. It is patreon.com/thesavagepodcast. And it starts as little as $3 a month, which, I mean, you can't buy anything for $3 a month nowadays.
Especially with inflation.
Oh my God, seriously.
Should be getting expensive as gall hell.
Seriously, everything's so fucking expensive.
I was so mad. I got my my energy bill, and I was like looking at my energy bill for like my gas and my electric. And it was so stupid because like the amount of electric that I use, it equated to be like, let's just pretend it was like, I don't know, $8 for the month, right? But all of the other charges, it ended up being like something like $60 because of all these like administrative usage charge, all this shit. And my actual usage was like a third of what the bill should be.
I know, but that's like flights as well, right?
Yeah, true.
It's like when you book the flight, like it's always the taxes and handling fee and this
fuel
and this
charges
and this. Yeah.
and all this stuff.
So that's what adds to it.
the built-in cost.
Was your bill a lot, Daniel?
It actually wasn't too bad. Like I don't know. I don't know what's a lot. Like I was. So
I mean, what was it? Just tell me.
Electricity, gas, heating, everything all combined on one bill.
Yeah.
Was $152.
Okay.
So it wasn't too bad. I don't think.
Do you pay condo fees?
Yes.
What does it include? Water?
No, my condo fees include nothing.
But you pay not much, right?
No, my condo fees like.
Okay, so in that case, then I think it's fine.
Yeah, like my condo fees like $250.
Okay, I think that's reasonable.
So altogether, it's like $400.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's still cheaper than me. So.
Oh my God!
Yay for me!
Yeah, because you don't really have to pay separate bills, do you?
Well, I do have to pay
electric.
I don't know if it's electric. I think it's electric.
Yeah, because most condos it's electric, and then water and heat because it goes through the building.
I know, but I pay a lot even just for that. I don't know.
For the condo fee or for the electric.
For both. Fuck my life.
Yeah.
Guys, living is so expensive. Living is so expensive.
I know. I calculated it the other day, and I was like, just as a single person by myself, like for me just to simply exist, is like, I think it was like $2,700 a month.
It's so ridiculous.
That's just existing.
Like, I mean, I say this with love. You're not that expensive. I mean, that's not...
Are you guys hearing this?
I don't mean it in like...
Rose is calling me like a cheap...
No, what I'm saying is you're not like... You don't have super bougie habits. Okay? I say it with love. As in, you're not... You're good with your money.
Not this month.
Maybe not this month, but you're not like spending it on frivolous things is what I would assume.
Sometimes I do, Rose.
And you don't have like a house that's way too expensive beyond your budget.
True.
And that's still a lot of money for one person.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, well, we were discussing this because we were like, if there's any reason to couple up, it's finances.
This is the thing. I get so jealous, or not jealous, but like, you know, like my friends that are like obviously married or coupled up, it's like all of a sudden now it's like 2 incomes.
Literally, you can literally get basically
2 for the price of 1.
Yeah, a place that costs, I mean, theoretically, you wouldn't get a place that costs double the amount, but you could if you wanted to.
Exactly. But even just think about like the places that we got. Like we could comfortably have somebody else living with us at our place. And
could
then
we though?
And then everything would be halved.
Yeah, but we have to live with someone else.
That's true. Rose, this is why you're going to be
oh my
single.
God, I know.
God
I don't know how to like, you know.
It's hard because it's like your space and like.
But you can also share chores. That's another thing.
Depends how good your partner is.
Well, fuck that shit. I'm not dating someone that's not going to share chores.
God damn. Rose.
I'm an independent woman.
But then also with 2 people.
If we're splitting costs, if we're both working individuals, we are splitting the chores. 50-50.
True. But then also if you have another person with you, then you can get a cleaner and split the cleaner costs.
Okay. Are we this lazy? I think we can just clean our own fucking homes. It's not that much. Listen. I feel like we are a little bit spoiled in today's day and age.
We are.
Okay, we don't need to have a cleaner I mean, yes, it's nice to have a cleaner if we're very busy people once in a while. But I think just general stuff, if you have another person, you can, it would be easier, right? Imagine like one more person living in your home. And then like, for example, if I cook, they can do the dishes. Okay. And if I put away the laundry, they can put away the dishes. I fucking hate putting away anything. Okay.
Fair enough.
I can vacuum one day. The next day, they can clean the bathroom.
So are you accepting applications, Rose?
For boyfriends?
For live-in boyfriends?
Yes, I always am. I just reject most of them. No, just kidding.
You reject most applicants because they don't meet up to the qualifications. You know, you have
we're talking about straight men here, Daniel.
Yeah.
It's slim pickings out there.
We're talking about they have to meet certain job specs, you know, and unfortunately they don't hit a lot of those.
What job specs?
Well, they must be 6'4".
Oh.
You know, there's those little things.
They don't have to be, guys. This is false information. Daniel is spreading misinformation. I do not have to date a guy that is 6'4".
Daniel, this guy's only 5'10". I don't know if I should swipe or not. I'm like, Rose, he's fucking 5'10". He's tall enough.
That is never a conversation we've
yes,
had.
Yes, we definitely have.
That was probably 5'8". It was probably 5'8". And that was pushing it.
I think it was 5'9". I actually look back at my chats. I swear to God, it was 5'9".
This is what I will always say. It is because of the curse of the dating app.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do care about height and appearance.
I think we all do. Not height necessarily, but appearance.
Yes,
for sure.
but I think it's what's the word? Exacerbated by these apps because I only have so much information to choose. I don't have their personality. Okay. I can't talk to them. So I think if I met people in person, I'm not going to be like fucking taking out a ruler, like goddamn fucking measuring them. Okay, I don't have a measuring tape in my purse.
Unpopular question.
What?
Do you think that most straight guys on the apps lie about their height?
You know what? I heard they do. Okay, that's crazy to me. Why would you lie?
Because I
always feel like people should be honest. Not that I don't know. Something about lying gives me anxiety.
I mean, you could always add like a little inch or two, right? Like no one's going to notice an inch or two.
But it's not like they ask you to tell, like you don't have to provide your height.
No, you don't have to.
I bet you there are some people that do. I don't know if it's the majority. It's probably a minority.
Would you notice an inch or two, Rose?
Depends on what we're measuring.
oh, I'm dying. You know, maybe he's not tall, but he makes it. He has the inches where it matters, Rose.
Daniel, I don't know what you're talking about, Daniel. Okay, this is a PG podcast. Anyway,
oh god damn, Rose, you got me flustered. I'm turning red now.
Do you think the gays in the gay community, do you think they lie about stuff?
Oh yeah, of course.
I just don't get it because it's like, I mean, I guess with height, it is something that you could kind of lie about because you are just, you know, you could just be like, oh, I thought I was like 6'4", but actually I'm 6'3". Yeah. I mean, not that anyone would lie about that.
Or like I'm 6'2" and I thought I was 6'4".
I mean, no one would lie about that actually. It'd be more like I'm like 5'10", but actually I'm 5'9".
Or 5'8".
Oh God.
Or really they're 5'6" and said they're 5'8", and you matched with them, Rose, and went out on a date and you guys are basically the same height.
Oh God. Well, I think we've talked about how I have tall girl energy.
Yeah.
Where I'm a tiny girl. Not tiny, but like I'm relatively short.
And you think me and you are the same height? Okay, I'm 6
I know
foot.
Daniel is taller. But like in my head, he's not that much taller.
Yeah.
Until I like look in a mirror and then I see the difference and I'm like, holy, I have like this warped perception that I'm a tall person in my head.
I wonder if how many other people, guys, like, does anyone else have this like warped perception of their height where they're like, they think that they're much higher,
like, is it taller? A sense of like cockiness? Or what I like to call confidence?
Confidence. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm not sure. The world, I don't know. I'm just like, the way I view the world.
Anyway, guys.
Oh my gosh. That was a tangent. Maybe we should talk about dating and, icks and that kind of stuff in the exclusive.
Yes, let's do it. I like it.
Because, you guys know we love talking about this topic.
We can talk about recent icks and recent...
situations.
Yeah, situations and the frustration of dating.
Oh God, the dating. God, seriously, I'm joining a fucking coven.
I know. I've decided that I'm going to become a nun.
I thought you were going to become a slut.
Well, one or the other. I haven't decided which one yet.
You should have a slut phase and see how you feel.
Okay, so are you guys ready for are you ready for the first story?
Oh my God, you guys. So we're going to talk about, oh God, am I going to get so mad? I feel like I always get mad in these podcasts.
I know. Episodes. So the theme, I mean, it's not all of the stories, but the theme is just basically like...
Oh, I heard about this.
Frustrating. Yeah. This is...
Okay, so let's talk about it. So we've had a story. The title of the story is GOP Congressman who voted against same-sex marriage bill attended gay son's wedding 3 days later. Thoughts, Daniel?
Okay,
as a member of the LGBTQ.
Initial thoughts on this. I am just... People never cease to amaze me. Because, like, if my parents were government officials and they voted against same-sex marriage, again, I'm like, why? I'm your son. Like, you don't want me to get married. And then fucking attend my wedding 3 days later after voting for it not for having same-sex marriage. Like,
I don't understand.
Like, this is what frustrates me. I feel like there's so many people in government. Like, there was that story we talked about a while ago, but there was that like politician that was, I think he was in Hungary or one of these countries, and he was like ultra conservative, ultra like against gay rights, and then it came out that he was at some gay sex party,
right?
And was like, it was a huge scandal, which is slightly different than this story.
It's a little bit different.
He was like more closeted, and that's probably why he was like being extra like masculine so people didn't know. And
that happens a lot, where like people are really openly homophobic, but actually turns out they are themselves gay. But this situation, it's just like, I feel like this happens a lot with Republicans, especially where it's, I mean, not to this blatant degree, but for example, they will not understand, again, this is a little bit different, but for example, like they'll be super fucking homophobic until they find out maybe like their child is gay or something. And then they're like, oh, I like kind of get it.
Until it hits them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then this, I'm like, what are you, is it like, okay, like what?
But also the thing that like makes me feel like shitty about this as well. We're talking about this like voting against like same-sex marriages.
Why would you do that? You have a gay son.
I know. Like, guys, I'm actually at a loss for words with this because
because I'm actually trying to understand the psychology. I don't understand the psychology because it's literally, it's not even very spread apart. You know, I can maybe understand you voted for the bill and then years later you're like, actually I changed my mind because, you know, I have a gay son now, so I changed my mind because that's how it works apparently. Because these people don't have empathy until it's their own. But this, I'm like, I don't get it. Did he pass it because in order to win like some sort of vote and then but actually in personal life he thinks very differently? Like, what is it?
I don't know.
Did his son get married early so that they could pass this and then his son would still be married?
God damn, I don't know. Honestly. It's just
and
like...
Also, I can't believe we're talking about this. This is crazy.
The crazy thing to me is like, I've said this before when we were talking about the whole Roe versus Wade and like all this other stuff. I'm like, guys, there are way, way, way more things to be talking about. Like crazy inflation, climate change, all of this other stuff. You know what the
theory is though? They're saying... I've heard this today, actually. I saw this video talking about actually Joe Rogan. And this is like where Joe Rogan kind of like got it right, which is very interesting.
Scary.
But he also mentioned and other people are mentioning that all of these things are simply a distraction. Like all of these kind of, like overturning Roe v. Wade, trying to overturn same-sex marriage protections.
Yeah.
It's apparently all a distraction to distract us from all of the shit that's happening behind the scenes.
From what's actually happening.
Inflation, people losing their jobs, like the real, not that gay marriage is not a real world problem, but it's like, because people are going to be so fired up. Like they know people are going to be pissed off about this.
Yeah. It's true. It's like they were talking about how, people are getting really angry, even here in Canada, about like, they're like, oh, the government's increasing, borrowing rates, so all of our mortgages and interest rates are going up and all this other stuff, and the government's doing it in order to combat inflation, right? Like to try to rein inflation in. But it's like the anger is misdirected. It's like you're focusing on the government, and in some ways I don't think that, I think the government could be doing other things, but it's like this person I watched, it was on TikTok, and they made a really good point, and they were like, when are people going to wake up and turn around and look at the wider picture of what's going on with corporations taking massive profits, and like this discrepancy of wages between like C-suite, like senior execs and everyone else? Like, when are they going to get angry at that? Like, that's where really the huge, direction, like a lot of companies, not all companies, but like a lot, had record profits in 2021. And then we have this huge inflation and everything. And it's like a big question is like, how much of this inflation is actually supply chain issues and everything else? And how much of it is companies just getting greedy, right? Like
people like raising the prices due to inflation.
Exactly. Quote unquote inflation. And then turning around and being like, oh, like we're going to fire half of our staff and whatever else to like, cut costs and whatever and be making record profits. So like there's other areas where it's like, and this is, you're right. I feel like it's like the red herring where it's like, And the thing that scares me about all this is we kind of talked about this, how this whole Roe versus Wade was a historic moment for several reasons. And the number one is that it represents, one is, I guess it is definitely a distraction because everyone's talking about it. But then also it kind of has a snowball effect on a lot of other people's like rights, like people of color, LGBT.
Well, that's why we're talking about this now. Because now that they've passed or they've overturned Roe v. Wade. Now they're saying, okay, now we're going to tackle all of these other things. It's fucking crazy.
And the thing that I saw another TikTok. Thank you, Rose, by the way, for introducing me to TikTok. But this was another really good point. There was a person, I can't remember who the gentleman was, but he was like on an interview and they were just chatting and he was talking about this and he's like, look, people that are trying to like, again, with the same sex marriage and LGBT rights and, the rights of people of color and everyone else, he's like, never at any point did we want to take away anyone else's rights. We just want the same rights as everyone else.
Yeah.
Like he's like, that's
why
all,
it's ridiculous.
I know. That's like, it's like as people that are like in minorities or whatever else, it's like, we never were like, hey, we want to take away that person's rights. We just want the same rights as everyone else. Like, what the fuck? And like,
I know, it's ridiculous. So I mean, I can't believe we're talking about this again, but here we are.
It's just crazy.
I know.
Like, it's
why did he go to this wedding? I don't understand.
I know. Let's listen to this. Like, some people obviously Twitter. I need to go on Twitter. Twitter lit up.
Someone tweeted.
Yeah. They're like, wow, here in Pennsylvania, we have a congressman named Glenn Thompson who attended his son's gay wedding 3 days after voting against gay marriage. I would have disinvited his bigoted ass.
Well, that's another question. Hello, son. Do you not know that your dad is voting for homophobic laws? Like, why does he not know? I don't think he knows.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he knew. He knows now.
Oh,
it's all over the fucking news.
Yeah.
I like, seriously. And again, like, this person's right. She said, these Republicans would have no or without hypocrisies, these Republicans would have no values at all. So it's like, they don't actually, I don't think a lot of them believe in anything really.
Yeah.
So some of them are religious and are anti-gay marriage.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of them are just like, they don't really believe in much. So they just kind of go for whatever. Like, that's my other theory. I don't know who this person is.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. It is just crazy to me. And again, like, it's like, Bojo in the UK, Barjar, who was like, guys, during COVID, he's like, locked down, don't do anything. And then it came out later he was having parties and like, it's just like the hypocrisy of it all. Like,
I know.
At least if you're gonna defend something, stand behind it. Like,
exactly.
Like, I feel like for the most part, like I'm pretty strong in a lot of my values and stuff. And
Yeah.
like there's certain things, like obviously I'm an advocate of LGBT rights, LGBTQ plus whatever rights, and that I'm not gonna like vote for that and then later do something that's like against that. You know what I mean? Like it just seems so ridiculous.
I don't understand.
Like
oh, there's a typo in this article. It says in addition to pubic anger.
well, you know,
maturity.
my pubic is pretty angry about this. I don't know about your pubic nether regions, Rose, but
it says here that a recent poll shows that 71% of Americans, including a majority of Republicans, support same-sex marriage.
Yeah.
So again, it's like, are you a democracy or not? That's another question.
What's going on over there, guys?
What?
What's going on down under?
I have no idea.
What's going on down underneath us? It's like that
down underneath us.
Yeah. It's like that I always refer to this one meme that I saw, but it sounds so bad. It's like, you know, US is like Canada's neighbor. It's like that neighbor that lives in your basement that's cooking meth. I was like, oh God.
My mom said a joke. I can't remember exactly how she worded it. It was like she heard it from someone else.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you know, Canada is so lucky. You know, we have so much land and so many natural resources, and it's absolutely beautiful. Like, what did we deserve to, like, how can we have so many, you know, great things? And then someone says, well, God gave you a really bad neighbor.
Yeah. So true. So true. Oh my God.
Again, love you Americans. It's not about you guys. It's about the government.
And
okay?
in general, yeah, just kind of
society. None of the people listening to this, obviously. Okay. Anyways.
But yeah.
So there's that story.
Just craziness.
It's so crazy.
Oh God.
It's insane. So anyways, they don't believe in anything. So I don't understand why they want to make other people's lives miserable.
I know. And I'm like, it doesn't impact you.
I will never understand this anti-gay marriage fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Literally, it does not impact anyone.
Yeah. It's
other than like whoever is getting married.
Exactly. But they're like, oh, it takes away the sanctity of marriage.
It doesn't take away this bullshit thing. Okay. This is a bullshit thing that we made up as human beings.
And again, like maybe I'd be a little bit more behind that argument if like divorce rates
wasn't
weren't
50%.
Exactly. We're not like an all-time high. Like what about all those people?
Why are we allowed to get divorced, huh? Technically, according to the Catholic Church or the Christian values, we shouldn't be getting divorced.
Yeah.
So why are you not banning divorces, bitches? Why do you have to ban gay marriage first? Why not ban divorces? That's the bigger problem because 50% of marriages end in fucking divorce.
And they say, and that do they not consider that blemishing the sanctity of
because they want to get divorced. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't want to lose their right to get divorced, even though that's against fucking Christian values. But they're okay with banning gay marriage because they don't have
this
a fucking...
This is what I mean. This whole picking and choosing and whatever fits your narrative is like the most annoying thing.
It's so fucking annoying. It pisses me off.
Like... I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Biden or somebody from the US, but they did make a really good point. They were talking about like the whole abortion situation.
Sure.
And they were mentioning like, if you're going to be pro-life, you need to be child support or like pro, like, you know, all of these other initiatives that like, you know, to help. And I
feel like that probably wasn't Biden that said that. Just
probably,
to guess.
Probably not. I don't know, guys. I've been watching too much TikTok. Thanks, Rose.
Oh God. I mean, it's true. Like if you are like pro-life, quote unquote, and you're not for childcare, like affordable childcare, and also for paid maternity paternity leave, and for free at the point of service healthcare, then you're not pro-life. Sorry.
Not even to mention about education.
Not even to mention about education.
Yeah, like there's so many things they were saying, and I think this number's changed. Like I remember my parents used to throw it around all the time. They're like, you know, Daniel, to raise one child to the age of 18 costs approximately $100,000.
Oh my God, it's probably $1 million now.
No, I probably a lot. Like I mean, maybe not
$100,000. That's nothing.
I know. So I'm thinking like over 18 years, like to raise a child all the way to maturity, and then if you're supporting them through university or whatever else,
exactly,
it's like the costs just go through the roof. So
it's so like, expensive to have a child.
Oh God damn.
So it's crazy.
Be expensive as hell.
Don't you be tired?
It's tired. It's been a long day, guys. I'm currently house sitting for one of my friends.
Oh God.
And they live very far in the north of the city, which is fine. But it's a lot of like getting up earlier because I have to get to work and bloody blue, bloody blah. Such is life.
Such is life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I heard about this as well. So we have some Dave Chappelle news.
Oh,
Goddamn, this man be in the news all the time.
He is in the news a lot. Did you ever watch his
oh my God, I never got around to it.
Rose.
Okay, I need to watch it this week.
Because I wanted to get your opinion. Because like I watched it and I there were a few kind of more cringy moments that he was talking about the trans community.
Guys, if you don't know what we're talking about Dave Chappelle's like Netflix special where he was like he got in kind of trouble from a lot of LGBTQ plus folks.
He got a lot of backlash for
being anti-trans, apparently.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people say, like, people are very divided on this issue.
Yeah.
Some people say that he wasn't at all transphobic and it's all just a joke. Like, we need to calm down.
Yeah.
And then the other side is like, he's for sure transphobic and he needs to be like quieted.
This is where I struggle a lot because I'm like, especially like in the realm of like comedians.
I know.
Because I'm like, the whole point of a comedian show is to be funny, right? And
a little bit controversial.
Exactly. And to be a bit controversial. And that's where I'm like, oh, because like a lot of comedians make gay jokes and stuff and I laugh at them because some of them are fucking funny. Like
yeah,
I don't know. I
need to watch it.
Yeah, you need to watch it because I do feel there was a few that were like, oh, a bit like that,
like cringe.
But at the end of the day, like
it's comedy.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I watched Book of Mormon in London again, and some of I honestly was shocked, especially coming in from like a 2022 lens.
Yeah,
because like obviously we're so sensitive nowadays, and I forgot how like actually offensive some of the jokes are, but you know what, you just laugh and you're like, cool, they didn't mean anything by it. Exactly. It's so over the top that you're like, okay, it is so over the top, this is like clearly a joke, even though it is very, very like uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it, again, and I'm not saying that like comedians should, I guess, have free reign to say whatever the fuck they want, but at the same time I'm like, the whole point of a show is that kind of, especially like some of the dark comedy and all this kind of stuff, like some of the stuff they joke about can be really dark, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, and they're not actually like, sometimes they joke about like serial killers and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, totally.
It doesn't mean that they're like wanting to be a serial killer or like promoting that or anything, do you know what I mean? But it's like it's all about context, and I feel like
and intent.
And intent. And I don't know. I just felt like, from my perspective, guys, and I might get some hate for saying this, like, I don't know, from watching the Dave Chappelle show, like it didn't, like on Netflix, I didn't get this feeling of like underlying hatred. You know what I mean? Like I got a feeling of more like it's like a joke, and he like laughed at, like, you know what I mean? Like he joked about a lot of other things. He joked about being black. He joked about like, you know what I mean? So I'm just kind of like, oh, I don't know, like. I know.
I'm torn as well. This idea of like certain groups get protection. Yeah. Like I understand to some degree, obviously, we all have different experiences. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Like I kind of like the idea of like, I want to get to a world where everyone gets made fun of equally. Yeah. I also don't want to be protected because I'm Asian. Yeah. I feel like I'd feel more offended. You know what I mean? Like I want you to make fun of me just as much as you make fun of every other race. Yeah. I don't know. But, at the end of the day as well, it's a comedy show. Yeah. Okay. There are bigger problems. What's the vegan term for, there are bigger fish to fry. Okay.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm like really.
I'm glad this talk is very interesting for you, Daniel.
What is the vegan term instead of there's bigger fish?
I don't know, but I know
there's bigger tofu to fry.
There's bigger tofu steaks to fry.
Yeah.
There's I don't know.
Anyway, so the reason
there's a vegan term for two birds with one stone.
And what is that, Rose?
So the term is killing two birds with one stone. Yeah. Which is obviously very awful. Like, what the fuck is wrong with us? Anyways.
Is it feeding two birds with one biscuit?
No. Feeding two birds with one scone. Isn't it cute? I love it.
I do love it.
Anyway, okay. So let's talk about this new Chappelle drama.
So the new Chappelle drama, guys. Okay. So I guess, Chappelle is like doing a comedy show, as you do. And he's booked in a bunch of different venues. I think he does like a tour. I think they do like kind of tours and stuff or whatever. Anyway, I guess he was booked in this Minneapolis venue. I think it was called First Avenue. That's what it looks like in the picture, but anyway, they decided at the last moment they decided to cancel the Chappelle show. Yeah. Because of all this backlash that he's been getting.
Right. But I think that if I remember correctly, I think that people, like the employees, didn't want to work or something. No, wait, maybe I'm totally wrong. It says, First Avenue posted a statement to its social media accounts announcing that Chappelle would instead be performing at Varsity Theater, which was already set to host him Thursday and Friday. The switch came as Chappelle has repeatedly faced,
backlash for making jokes aimed at the transgender community.
But my thought is that First Avenue, obviously they knew about all of this backlash, but then they probably got so much backlash that they were like, no.
Yeah.
But I heard that it's also because they didn't have enough people to work at it because people were
boycotting.
Yeah. But I could be wrong about that part. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But I think they did, like when they announced that he was going to like be performing there or whatever, I think that the venue actually, that they got a lot of backlash. Like a lot of people were like, you shouldn't,
God, I really don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I think I know where I lie. Like I feel like we both know where we lie on this. It's like, listen, freedom of speech is a thing. And I know that the line isn't always clear because people could say it's like hate speech, but is it really hate speech? Is making fun of someone hate speech?
But it's like exactly, it's like, what about all the jokes about like Asian people or people like black people or like Indian people or anything else where
like you're allowed to criticize, like I don't mind if you say like this joke is not funny. I think the problem is, here's the thing, you're allowed to criticize the art, right? It's a comedy show, it's art, you can criticize it. There are reviews for a reason. We can talk about it after. You could say, I think it was offensive. I think it was this. But I think I have the problem with like people shutting it down.
Yeah.
And people constantly just trying to like, you were allowed to also boycott, but I don't know, like this idea of like shutting down, and not letting him perform makes, and also it kind of does the opposite thing where it actually like angers the other side to like him more. So Dave Chappelle gets so much support. Yeah. And I think a lot of his popularity is because of the backlash that the other side gives him.
Yeah. And honestly, like, again, I watched his comedy show, and maybe because, obviously
well, you're not trans,
Daniel. I know, but this is the thing. I'm not trans, but like, I don't know. I've seen other comedians make some pretty harsh jokes about like queer people.
Oh,
and, like,
totally.
gays.
Totally.
And like, maybe it's wrong of me, but I've like laughed along with them. And I'm like, actually, that's a funny joke. Like, and again, I take it in context, like that's a joke. Like if this person met me in person or like was outside of this comedic lens or this art expression, like, I don't know. And I don't think that it's, I guess the argument is like it perpetuates stereotypes.
But like, I mean, there's stereotypes with everything. I don't know. Like this person says here, it says in this article, it says, there's a change.org petition that said Chappelle is dangerous to trans people. Okay, come on. I think we're going a little overboard. Okay.
But then also the thing that makes me worried, guys, and like maybe I'm coming out of this to the left field, but like then it makes me, because like I love comedic shows. I love them. I think they're funny. I love like watching them, listening to them, all kinds of stuff. And it makes me concerned that more and more comedians are just going to be like less, they're just going to pull back a lot, or they're going to step out of comedy altogether because they're going to be like, you know what, I can't deal with this backlash from like, these groups and what can I say? What's okay for me to joke about? Yeah, like exactly. What is okay for me to say? Who
makes the rules as to what's okay and what's not?
When does a joke go too far? When it's in a comedic lens, you know what I mean? Like I've heard jokes.
It's really subjective.
Yeah, I've heard like jokes before, like when they've joked about like the Holocaust and shit.
Oh yeah, like
so like and like I again. Not the most tasteful.
Or I've heard abortion jokes.
Exactly.
Like, none of these are like fun, in that sense. But it's almost like, making jokes out of like something that's, I don't know, dark, makes it a little bit less, I don't know. I
saw this one, this one comedy thing. And, oh God, I can't remember it was like people battling each other.
Okay.
And this guy was battling this girl, and honestly it was the funniest shit. He was like talking about how like she was she was obsessed with Harry Potter, and she definitely belonged to the house of Slytherin because every guy she met, she let him slither in. I was like dead. I was like dying. Like I just love this shit. Like some of it's
Daniel,
so funny.
That's slut phobic.
Oh God. Oh yeah.
That's slut shaming.
I'm gonna get canceled. Yeah. I don't know. I guess my argument, guys, is like, not argument. It's like, what am I trying to say? Is it meant to be in that context of hate? Do you know what I mean? Like, was it hate speech? Was it something that this person was like standing up? Like, I would argue, like, for example, like we talked about that congressman voting against gay marriage.
Yeah.
That's very different than like joking about it in a joking context.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like making a joke, being like, oh, well, I voted against gay marriage and went to my gay son's wedding 3 days later.
Yeah.
Like, if it was a joke, you know, but like actually actions like that have like intent, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just look at it very differently. And
also, I don't know. Here's the thing, okay? It's a comedy show. You're not meant to actually take it seriously.
Yeah.
It's not a monologue. It's not a drama. It's a comedy show. And I feel like we are way too sensitive nowadays, and we think everything's a danger.
100%.
Okay, there's real dangers out there, people.
Yeah.
A comedy show is very low on the list of dangers. People are so fragile nowadays. I'm sorry. I have to say it. I don't want to sound like an old woman.
Yeah.
But like, I'm sorry. The younger generation, you're a little too fucking fragile.
God damn.
How are you going to live through this fucking shitty ass world?
I know. There's so much shit that goes on. It's like, you got to like, you kind of got to laugh to make it all better.
Exactly.
You know, you really do. You have to just like have those moments and just, you know.
Anyway, so there's that, but I guess he still performed at the
Varsity
and
Theater, I guess.
He probably fucking sold it out.
Yep. Probably everyone was like, God damn, I want to go there.
It's crazy. It's actually kind of crazy.
So when he relocated, he was confronted by about 40 protesters holding signs chanting "Trans Lives Matter." Honestly, can somebody please, okay, people that have seen the Dave Chappelle special on Netflix, can you please comment in the comment section below and just let me know? Because like I've watched it. Yeah, let us know what you think. Like, do you think that he was like being transphobic? Do you think his jokes cross the line, and if so, why? Like,
and
why do you guys
the line?
Exactly, and where is that? Like,
can they not joke at all? What kind of jokes are they allowed to make?
Yeah,
and who decides that?
Because like,
I know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's too much.
I don't know, but anyway, I'd be interested to see what other people think, because I know where I kind of stand on this, but like it would be interesting to see like what other people are thoughts are saying.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, shall we move on to our favorite thing that we're going to talk about?
Oh, god damn. Yeah, we can.
Is that what or is there another story?
There's one more, but it's kind of like it's not a non-story. It's just about Biden announcing the climate change agenda stuff.
We can skip it.
Okay. No, because the only point I wanted to bring up there is I read the article and I was like, all of the climate change measures, guess what was not addressed?
Meat?
Yes.
Of course. Not surprised.
I'm like, studies have now proven that it's like the number one way that we as a society can help contribute.
And like on a day-to-day basis, like reducing our meat and animal product intake is something that we actually have some level of control over.
Yeah.
Because we eat 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and everything else is very heavily out of our control.
Yeah.
What these giant companies do. But if we decrease our demand for meat, then that can actually make some level of difference. It's not going to make a big difference in the short term. But if enough people do it, like it
would be amazing to see the impact of like, you know, for example, even just in Canada, like let's say all of Canada went vegan.
I know.
Like, could you imagine I mean, obviously there'd be some industries that like, you know, they'll have to adapt, right?
I know.
You know, maybe the dairy farm industry will have to switch to producing like milk alternatives.
Yes, it's happened before.
Yeah.
It is possible.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. But he's probably paid by fucking, you know, the meat industry.
Yeah. I mean, it's all backed by, you know, crazy shit.
Like they'll never say like reduce meat. They might say like, oh, maybe like think about a plant-based meal, but like it's very weak messaging.
It's like when they were having the climate change conference. Did you hear about this? When I can't remember who it was, but they were like talking. It was a CEO of like a pretty big vegan company.
Yeah.
And he was like at this climate change conference and he's like, guys, I don't know how I can sit here and just not comment on the fact that we're like serving steak dinners. Did you see this?
I think I saw it.
Yeah, he's like that we're serving steak dinners at a climate change conference.
Oh my god, literally.
He's like it would literally be like us chain smoking at a cancer conference.
Oh my god, actually.
Like a lung cancer conference. Like
and then what? Did anyone say anything?
I can't remember. It was just he was doing like a monologue, I think, or something.
Thank God somebody said it.
Yeah, I was just like, well,
it's so true though. Like, come on. At this point, it's public information. Okay. It's not even just information that only vegans know. We talk about this all the time. Like, it needs to stop. And then, oh my God, I actually want to bring up one other thing. It's like, did you see that video? It was like, it went viral recently. And it was like, I don't know if it was like.
Was it about the human milk?
No, but that was the other one. Yeah. I think I reposted that one.
Yeah.
it was basically like street activism. So the video that Daniel's talking about was like a video by Joey Carbstrong, who's like this vegan activist.
Yeah.
And he did this like social experiment where he went outside like on the street. He does a lot of these like street things.
Yeah.
Where he was like giving out people, like he basically wrote on
He claimed it was human milk.
He claimed that he had human milk. He's like, do you want to try human milk? And of course, people
everyone
are like,
was like, oh, that's
like,
disgusting.
Ew, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Some people like tried it and they're like, oh, that's kind of sweet. That's nice. And at the end, he like revealed that it was oat milk. And then he was like, why do you think it's weird that it's like human milk? I mean, if you actually think about it, human milk is less weird than cow's milk, right? But it's like we've been conditioned to think cow's milk is normal, but human milk for humans is bad, which obviously we don't need it as adults, so it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, anyway, that was what video you're talking about. Yeah. But the video that I'm talking about that went viral like last week or something was basically it was basically like Don't Look Up, that movie, but in real life. So basically this guy, I think he was like a meteorologist.
Meteorologist?
Like people that predict weather. Is that
meteorologist?
Sure.
Yeah.
I never know how to say that word. Anyway, I think that's what he was. He went on some kind of British news show. Okay. It was like, I don't know if it was a news show or talk show, but he was on the show and there's like maybe, I can't remember if it was two ladies that were interviewing him, or either like one lady or one man. I can't remember. Anyway, they're on the show and then at first they're just, exchanging pleasantries. This guy's like sitting outside. He's on Zoom. Yeah. And then they were like, oh, like it looks lovely over there. How's it going? Isn't the weather perfect? And he's like, oh yes, right now it's absolutely perfect. It's 24 degrees. The sun is shining. I'm in the garden, all this shit. And then he's like, but we do have to talk about how next week we're going to have, this is like before the huge heat wave.
Yeah.
He's like, how next week he's like, we're going to have like record breaking weather. Yeah. It's going to be like 34 degrees in the UK, which has never happened.
Yeah.
And it is scary. People are going to die. Thousands are probably going to die from this. Like yada, yada, yada.
It got over 40, Rose. It went into the 40s in the UK.
And he's warning these people. Yeah. He's like, listen, we have to talk about this thing. It's dangerous. And the fucking host or the interviewer is like, listen, I don't know his name. Maybe it was John. Listen, John, why do you meteorologists always have to be so negative? Oh, is it really that bad? I mean, didn't we have 40-degree weather in like 1984, the summer of 1984? Why do you have to be so negative about it? Oh, it's not going to be that bad. Weather changes all the time. And she's just like, let's tell people some positive things. Like very much don't look up. Very much like don't say these negative things.
Yeah.
Even though it's the truth.
Yeah.
And this shit went viral because people are like this is bullshit, right? Anyway.
Well, and the thing is too, like when they're saying it's record-breaking temperatures, it's fucking record-breaking temperatures. Like
exactly.
They can say,
what do you not understand about record-breaking temperatures?
People can be like, oh yeah, we had a heat wave back in 1984. Yeah, sure, you might have had a heat wave in 1984. It wasn't 41 degrees.
Yeah.
Like,
and the crazy thing is, now the record-breaking stuff is happening on like a fucking monthly.
Every
or like
day is a record-breaking day.
Exactly. Everything is record-breaking. Yeah. That's not normal. Yeah. Maybe it's normal to have a record-breaking weather day every 20 years. Yeah. But having every year have some kind of record being broken is catastrophic. Yeah. Anyway, we're fucked.
It's just like crazy. Like even, I don't have my phone with me. But even in Calgary, I think it's supposed to be really hot the rest of this week.
Is it?
Yeah,
oh, God.
Like it's going to be in the 30s.
God damn.
And then
it ain't record breaking.
No, because last summer, guys, we had a heat wave where it got up to 37 degrees, which I think has pretty much never happened in Calgary. Yeah. And that was for like a week.
I know. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that happened.
It'd be wild as all hell in
So climate, once again, we talk about it. Nothing's ever going to change. And they're going to continue to serve steak dinners at climate change conferences.
Next thing we know, like, I don't know. Anyway, we're all fucked, guys.
Now we're going to talk about another brilliant and beautiful thing.
Oh, God. So me and Rose were talking about this person the other day. And I was saying to Rose, and I realized because he actually came up on my TikTok again. Yeah. And you're right. It was people responding to him. Because I was like, why? I'm actually offended, TikTok, that this person has come up in my algorithms because of. So we're talking about Andrew Tate.
His name is Andrew Tate. I have no idea where this fucking person came from.
He popped out of nowhere.
I know. Daniel's going to kind of explain how he got like so famous. Yeah. Or infamous, I should say. Mm-hmm. But basically he's this like crazy misogynistic.
Oh my God. He's like
to the nth degree. Yeah. Okay. And this guy,
he's like the epitome of everything wrong with like a hyper masculine man.
But
not
he's
even
not even
not even hyper masculine.
Yeah, but like I know what you mean.
Hyper
toxic,
misogynistic.
Yes.
POS.
Yes.
He's a POS.
But I don't understand the scary part is that people are following him unironically.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's so extreme. Like when I see his videos, I'm like, this guy is so insane that I can't believe anyone would take him seriously.
Yeah.
Like half the time I feel like he's just talking out of his ass. Like he doesn't believe anything he's saying. That's what I feel like.
There's like a trade-off where people are like, is he actually like doing this just to go viral? And
I think a part of it is.
Yeah.
Because he's saying such ridiculous things.
Yeah.
That I feel like he's just wanting, it's like a shock factor sort of thing. He wants like shock value.
Yeah.
And it's a marketing tactic.
Yeah. Well, and the reason why, okay, so basically I looked up a little bit about him. So I guess he used to be like kind of like amateur boxing or something.
Okay.
Like he was kind of into the martial arts and whatever and boxing, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he now, I think I can't remember if he owns or like co-owns some casinos.
God, just everything about him sounds just so, ugh.
Yeah, so he was like doing kickboxing, I guess. And then, he gained public notoriety when he was removed from the 17th season of Big Brother. Didn't even know he was on Big Brother. And he's received attention
following the release of a video in which Tate appeared to beat a woman with a belt. Not surprising.
Mm-hmm. He was subsequently removed from this show. Tate said the actions were consensual.
Don't believe it.
Yeah. So this guy is literally a piece of shit.
So he's making these videos, right? I don't understand who's following him. Mm-hmm. But it's scary to think that there are like especially guys following this.
I know.
And he's making these videos. He always wear these fucking dumbass sunglasses.
Oh my God, I know.
Okay. And he's, oh God, what is Hustlers University? That's so fucking cringe.
Oh my God. Okay, listen to this, guys. So this is part of his like business. So I guess he like started this thing called Hustlers University.
Oh God, that is so cringe.
I know. And there's a picture of him.
Let me guess. Yep, he does crypto. Yep,
yeah, of course. Okay, so Hustlers University is a global community of over 98,000 active members who are studying from a chosen network of specialists in freelancing, cryptocurrency, investing, and business. We were founded in 2021 by Andrew Tate.
Oh my God.
And are becoming stronger by the day as traditional schooling becomes less and less important.
Ew, I can't even look at his face.
I know. He's just horrible. So what happened, like what I heard as part of this whole, like when you join, I don't know, guys, I'm not going to join. I'm not going to test it out or whatever. But I think a part of it is like you kind of like, it's almost like a multi-level marketing scheme.
Yeah.
In a sense, like I think he gets people to like promote his content.
Right.
So that his short clips and videos actually get a lot more traction because a lot of people are reposting it. And then on top of that, then you have people commenting because of the ridiculousness of it.
Right. So yeah, so he does this shock value marketing and then he gets the people that join this to, I think he has like an affiliate program. Like I don't really know fully. Yeah. But again, maybe it is some kind of pyramid-y, schemey sort of thing. Yeah. And then they go and like spread his fucking videos like cancer. And then obviously that means more people will see it. And because it's shock value, people are commenting and that increases engagement. Yeah. And then that's what happens. So he's gone very much viral, which is really like concerning. Well, I wouldn't be as concerned if everyone was simply making fun of him. True. But there are people that actually take him seriously and that's fucked up.
That's what's concerning. Like, so
let's talk about some of the things he says.
Okay.
So
oh God, where to even start?
Okay, well, I saw this one video. Yeah. The thing is, I'm the same. So I will go on TikTok and I see people responding to him. Yeah. But how TikTok works, if you don't know, is like the initial video, they'll play, like if I respond to your video, the beginning of my video will play a snippet of your video first. And then it cuts to my face and then I respond. So I've been getting like, I think that's the only time I've actually watched any of his videos.
That's me too.
It's from those clips. Yeah. Because I actually cannot stand to look at this guy's face. He's just insufferable. Like, and the way he talks is really funny. Yeah. I don't know. Like, not to make fun of his accent, but like because he's so fucking awful, I don't really care. Yeah. Like, it's like a weird, muddled British/American accent. Yeah. I don't know. But let me play a clip. This is one that pissed me off.
Is it about the woman?
Yes.
Oh, you found it.
I saved it earlier so that we could play it. Hold on.
A girl who's 33 and single, I know the amount of dick that's been through her before me. It's just simply
Hold on, that was a response. So if you guys didn't get that, he said, if I met a girl that's 33, I feel attacked personally. 33 and single.
How old are you, Rose?
It's 33
and single.
And single. He talking about me.
He's talking about you.
He's talking about me.
Well, you wouldn't want to date this piece of shit anyway. God.
Well, let me just tell you. Yeah. So he says, if I meet a girl that's 33 and single, I know the amount of dick that's gone through her
before me,
and that's simply unattractive.
Yeah.
So translation, I'm fucking insecure,
yeah.
Don't know what I'm doing in bed, and I don't want you to compare me to any other man that you've been with before. So I only go for the 18, 19-year-olds that don't really know anything about sex and they haven't had much experience, and therefore will just accept me for whatever shitty partner I am.
But it's so funny because he is, oh God, the epitome of everything wrong in today's society. I swear to God, like he literally, like he'll put flip it onto the woman and be like, okay,
it's always the woman's fault.
If she's 33, she's had so much dick in her before me.
What about you, bitch? How old is he? How old is this guy?
He's 35.
Oh, but he's going to say there's different standards for men and women.
Of course, because men are allowed to, because they're allowed to, fuck as many people as they want. Because they need to learn to please their women or something. I don't even know. Probably not even. He doesn't even care about it.
Is that why you only go for 18-year-olds, buddy?
Yeah, like it's like so cringy. Like everything.
Oh God, it's so cringe.
Everything he says is just.
And let me just comment more on this 33 and single thing.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I can guarantee you, if you ask any woman above the age of like 21, maybe even 19. If you would find it attractive for a guy that's over the age of 30 to exclusively only go for women ages 18 to 19 to 20, and almost every woman with, her head screwed on right would say, no, that is simply unattractive. So really, he's just going like, you don't have anything to worry about, buddy, because there's nothing attractive about a 33-year-old man or a 30-whatever-year-old man exclusively going for 18, 19-year-olds because they know that they're easy to manipulate.
Yeah.
And listen, this is not a hate on 18, 19-year-old women, by the way.
All.
But when you were young, you obviously have a little bit less experience and you haven't been with as many men or have I can't even talk.
Just life experience.
Exactly.
Right?
Or have had many partners and things like that. So and it's like, I just know myself. Like, I remember when I was 18, like if a guy was like nice to me or something, I'd be like, oh, like you kind of almost get manipulated. It's very easy to manipulate someone into like dating you, for example, because it's like they're like nice to me and they shower me with gifts. Like, oh my God, like maybe I need to be nice to them. And it's also like, it's hard to reject someone when you're that age. Yeah. It's hard to like say no. So it's just like, there's a lot of factors. So obviously for him to go for I just see right through that. I'm like, you're so fucking full of shit. No woman would date you above the age of 30, especially after you said that.
Exactly.
Ugh.
He's just again, he's insufferable. Like he also was like commenting, like I watched this other video of his where he was commenting about how like basically these guys that are millionaires, right? Like they have these women and stuff. And the fact is like a woman that's married to a guy that's a millionaire just has to accept the fact that he's going to cheat. Like,
and that's just okay.
That's just the nature of it. He's like, men are cheaters, and the men that are making the money and have all this money, like they have like it's like a get out of jail free card. And he's like, the women that understand this, they accept this, and they do all this stuff. And I'm like, if the shoe was on the other foot, buddy, well,
he doesn't believe in that.
No, he does it. He basically puts things into a favorable lens of what he wants, right? Like he wants to have a woman that will not argue with him, is his possession, basically, has no opinion or mind of their own, someone that he can fuck around with, do whatever he wants, like in terms of like going and having sex with other people, and that's his life.
He's a really sad person, isn't he? Because I'm trying to think, like, if you're actually a straight man, which questionable considering how much you hate women.
I know.
Like, if you're actually a straight man, you have no respect for women at all.
Yeah.
And if you only use women for sex, like, are you a sociopath?
Exactly. Well, we just watched that clip right before where he was like with a group of women and he was like, if you're not having a baby, what are you doing with your life?
Living my life.
Exactly. He's like, but women, they're meant to have baby. Like, what are you doing with your life if you're not having a baby?
Again, why? Why are we meant to have a baby?
Yeah, according to him.
According to fucking Andrew Tate.
Yeah. Another quote that he had that I really was like, oh my God. He talks a lot because he lives in like Romania or whatever. And he talks a lot about Eastern women versus Western women. And he's like
Eastern European women?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, Eastern European women, they're only going to date you if they see a future with you. He's like, Western women, they're easy. They're getting drunk all the time. Like, he's like, it's so much easier just to sleep with a Western woman. He's like, Eastern women, they're not going to get drunk and be running around the streets and just giving it away for free. He's like, you actually have to work to date them and go to bed with them and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. What's his point? I don't understand his point. Mm-hmm. What's he trying to get at? I do feel like he's saying some of these things just like, he's like, again, I don't know if he has any values or actual thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, I almost feel like he's just spewing this out. And it's obviously working because we're already covering him as well.
Exactly.
And so many people have covered him because he's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I remember I also saw this one thing where, this made me happy. So like Hassan Piker, the hot Turkish left-wing Twitch streamer. I think he's like one of the top Twitch streamers.
I think he should slide into one of our DMs.
I will happily slide into his DMs, but I'm sure he gets a million DMs.
He probably does, from a lot of thirsty women and men.
Definitely. He did this like debate. I don't even know if it was an actual debate, but he like did this debate with this Andrew Tate character. Mm-hmm. And obviously they're very like opposite in terms of like, views. Again, I don't know if Andrew Tate has views, but like Hassan obviously has strong views. Mm-hmm. And I guess, again, Andrew Tate said something ridiculous like, oh, women are really bad at driving.
Yes.
Because again, I haven't watched his clip of him saying this, but he's basically saying, based on my experience, women are really bad at driving. Mm-hmm. So in his tiny little brain, he thinks that because according to his experience, which by the way, there's something called confirmation bias where you already believe that a woman is a bad driver and men are the greatest of all time. Yeah. So basically you won't see when a man is being a bad driver. You'll only see and notice when the woman is being a bad driver.
You'll overlook it if it's a man.
Exactly. Yeah. So then so anytime you see a woman that's a bad driver, it just adds to your confirmation bias. Whereas when men do it, you don't even notice it because you already believe that men are better drivers. Yeah. Anyways, but actually what Hassan pointed out was that actually every statistic out there shows that men get into more accidents. Yeah. And I don't know how else to measure good / bad driving than the ability to get into an accident.
Exactly. And that is proven time and time again. I think every country, like, you try to get car insurance, for example.
Exactly.
Men's car insurance statistically is always going to be higher. Like when me and you, Rose, were both 18, I would guarantee you that my insurance would be higher.
Yeah.
Because, and insurance is based on risk, right? Mm-hmm. And also based on, basically risk. Like, and generally men are riskier drivers. We take more risks. We, are caught probably speeding more often in more accidents, all of this stuff. So actually statistics would tell you, and this is another thing too, it's like you can't just generalize one experience. Like if I got into a car accident with like a woman, for example, I can't just take that one example and be like all women are bad drivers because of my one experience with this one woman that I got into a car accident with.
But when your brain is as small as Andrew Tate's, you can't really comprehend anything beyond your little tiny world.
I'm sure
you know what I mean?
I'm sure that's not the only thing that's tiny in his world. I mean, I feel like his energy is like he's trying to make up for something.
He has such small dick energy.
Why do you think he's dating all of these young women?
That's what I'm saying.
Who have no experience with other men, because
I'm saying.
Especially if they're like haven't been with other guys, and if he has like a certain.
Oh God, he has such small dick energy. Whether or not his dick is big or small, I don't know.
Doesn't matter, but
it's very much small dick energy.
Yeah.
And then
he's just so insufferable.
And then Hassan basically pointed this out. He's insurance companies, this is like literal proof that that's not the case. And then Andrew Tate, of course, like fucking shits all over himself, and he's like, well, this is just my experience, and based on my experience, I only can see my point of view based on my experience. Like, women have always been the bad drivers, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, you're allowed to, there's a world outside of your experience, okay? Yeah. Like, are you fucking stupid?
And also, maybe when you're only dating like children, they're gonna be bad drivers. Like, just saying like an 18-year-old that just got their license is gonna be worse than a 33-year-old woman who knows how to drive a fucking car.
Exactly. Maybe if you'd ever been in a car with women over the age of 30, maybe you would know.
Exactly. Take a mature woman.
Oh my God. You know what? Even when I was 18, I think I would be turned off by a guy that exclusively goes for 18-year-olds at the age of 30.
Yeah.
Like, remember when you were like young and there was always like, so I don't know if you remember, I don't know if you've had this experience, but like our like friend group would have like, we'd hang out with like lots of different people when we were young, and there was always like some one guy that was like 40 or like 35 or something that would like be hanging out with us, and we were like early 20s or late teens, and we were like, what the fuck is this guy doing with us?
I know.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It's not normal.
I know. I think the thing is like, it's okay to have friends of all ages, right?
Yes.
Like, I think that's fine. But I think exclusively hanging out with like, because like, for example, I could have some friends, like there's people, some of my coworkers that I would consider friends that are like 21, 22. Would I go and exclusively hang out with 21, 22-year-olds? Hell no.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, I feel like you do get to certain points in your life. Like, imagine like right now, just going and hanging out with a bunch of 18-year-olds.
Oh my God, I would die. That's what I'm saying. It's like, listen, again, not a diss on 18, 20-year-olds. Okay. Yeah. But you're right.
We were 18, 21.
Exactly. You're right in that. I'm not saying that there's something necessarily wrong with even dating someone that's like, big age gap.
Yeah.
If you happen to be 30, you happen to fall in love with an 18-year-old. I don't necessarily have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But it's the exclusively doing it.
Exclusivity,
and that's when you just know that there is like there's something fishy going on. Okay. Yeah. And like, I can't even imagine like just hanging out with a group of 18-year-olds. I know. Just can't.
I can't. I mean,
we're just so different.
Yeah. I think like, yeah, I would have a tough time. I mean, to be fair, when I was in Spain, I did when I was teaching there.
Sure.
There was a lot of like younger. It was actually a mixed bag. There was a few older people, a few people my age.
Yeah,
but majority of them were quite a bit younger. And me and my friend who were like, she was a little bit older than me, but we used to go out with them all the time.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but like once in a while. But I was like, whatever. Like, but we didn't exclusively just hang out with them.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's different. You were all kind of in the same, program or whatnot. Yeah. So yeah, there's something just really fucking weird about this. And this guy says it with such like confidence as if it's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, dude, you're literally trying to make something that's fucking weird and creepy and like slightly loserish. No offense.
Yeah.
And you're trying to make it like seem really fucking cool and appealing.
Yeah.
It's not.
Because I think it's
okay. There's one way to never fucking get laid is following this guy's fucking advice.
Oh my God, I know. So all you young men out there, which there's not that many that watch our podcast, but anyway, do not follow Andrew Tate. Honestly, just, I think if anything, do the opposite of what he does. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, we haven't listened to everything he's saying, but even just based on the little clips that we've seen enough. Yeah. And it's not like these clips are like, there's no context in which they would be, how do I say? Like, it's not...
It couldn't be taken out of context.
Exactly. Yeah. It wasn't taken out of context. Like, he's saying these words, okay? Yeah. He's like, what are you doing if you're not having children if you're a woman?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm living my fucking life, bitch.
There was another comment too about, I guess he's CPR trained. I think I told you this one, and about how he said he's CPR trained, but basically if you're anyone but a hot woman, do not need CPR around him because he will not give CPR to anyone else except hot women.
Someone needs to lock this guy up. I also heard that there's some again, this is alleged. I heard that he has some, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that he has some sexual assault allegations. Yeah. Just just some shady fucking behavior.
It does not surprise me at all.
And it's really just if we take it seriously, it's upsetting that people are following him.
And I think the sad thing is, even just looking at his website, if there's truth behind this, the fact that there's 98,000 people that have registered and done his fucking Hustlers University, that in itself terrifies me.
It is so it's because he's appealing to maybe young men that maybe are having a hard time, finding love or something. Yeah. And he's making it seem like it's not your fault. It's the woman.
Mm-hmm. Well, we did talk about the virgin pandemic that's happening, right? Do you remember about the virgin pandemic?
The male, what was it again?
It was basically
virgin.
It's true. So I said we'd be having all kinds of pandemics in this world, but there was statistics.
Virgin pandemic.
You remember? So in the States, there was an article that was released recently, but it talked about obviously we laugh and joke about it, but it talks about a more of a societal issue. But they were saying basically men under the age of 30, straight men. Yeah. The amount of straight men that are virgins or have very limited sexual experiences, I think actually it was virgins, has skyrocketed. Yeah. For men under 30, way more than you would think. Yeah. And they were saying that does we laugh and joke about it, it is kind of funny. It's oh God, maybe that's why they're following people like this, because they're
I don't think it's funny. I think it's scary.
Yeah, they're I want to get laid. Maybe this guy has he seems to be having women and doing all this stuff and is super rich, and I want to emulate that.
Exactly.
But it does speak to a wider societal problem as to why men and women necessarily aren't getting together and stuff.
Well, I mean, there's many theories, but one of the theories is that women are becoming we actually now have choices. Yeah. Not just, when it comes to sex, but when it comes to even partners, being in a relationship or even having a partnership, we are now more educated in many cases than men. A lot more, I think more women graduate from universities than men.
Yeah.
And, you know, women, even though we're not necessarily making equal to men just yet, we're still making our own living.
Yeah.
Back in the day, just 1-2 generations ago, women couldn't do what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So men always had it easy is what I'm saying. Now they actually have to work and be a decent human being.
Yeah.
Which is apparently very fucking difficult, because I always say to people, I'm like, I feel like men could easily get laid if they just weren't so fucking stupid. Like, it's actually so simple. Like, the bar is below ground, okay? The bar is fucking on the sea floor,
My
okay?
favorite is when Rose does her little clap for doing the bare minimum.
But it's true. The bar is below ground. I saw this one TikTok again. Fucking hell, we just keep referencing.
I know TikTok
TikToks.
is bad, guys. It's bad.
But like, this one girl was like, she had just started dating this person, and I think they like went away together or something, and I guess she like randomly got her period. It came early. Okay, it happens. And then this guy was like getting dressed up, and he was like, I'm gonna go and get you like some like, you know, feminine hygiene products, because obviously when you're like bleeding and stuff, you can't really like, you know, it's hard. I mean, it's, you know, it makes it harder.
And
So then she made a TikTok being like, I'm gonna marry this guy, and everyone's like, oh my god, the bar's on the fucking floor. Like, listen, don't get me wrong, it's a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
But come on.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Like, just be a little bit considerate and be a nice person.
Because also,
and like, already you're better than 90% of, you know, straight men out there.
Because you know what, to be honest, like, obviously I don't date women, but like, I would feel like, you know, for most straight women out there, like, if their man was like all of a sudden had a cold or something, she would be like right away, I'm going to I'll go get you some cold medicine. I'll go do whatever.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, they don't even think about it.
Men are kind of like aloof. They're kind of like, oh, what's going on?
What do we do? I don't know what's happening. Well, there was another TikTok that Rose sent
so
me this
great.
one, which talked about basically, I think it was a gay guy that was like,
it was a gay guy.
He was like ranting because he was like, honestly, guys, I'm in 2 separate groups with my straight guy friends and then also my straight girlfriends. And he's like, I don't know how the fuck you straight men do it, because
no, he said this: I will never understand for the life of me how men have somehow dominated this world with their poor planning skills.
And then he goes, you know, like the straight men in the group chat will be like, hey, my wife's gone for this weekend, let's all hang out. And then the other guys will be like, okay, cool, sounds like a plan.
And then he's like, I have so many questions. Yeah. Where are you going? What are we doing?
Is it going to be on Saturday? Is it going to be on Sunday? What time are we getting together?
Are we drinking? Are we eating?
Yeah.
What's happening?
And then he's like, on the flip side, the group with my straight girlfriends, literally, it will have what to wear, where we're meeting. The restaurant will be booked. There'll be a reservation. It's like planned out. He's like,
to the T.
He's like, I don't even know how the fucking straight guys even get together.
That's so funny, because I didn't even think that like this happened. Like, I didn't even think about this.
Yeah.
But it's so true. Like, in our girls chat, it's always like, we're like, okay, where are we going exactly? Which day can we all go?
Did somebody make a reservation?
Exactly. Which time? Did we check the menu? What are we wearing? Is it formal? Is it casual?
Yeah.
Are we doing drinks after? Like, how long are we staying out? Like, everything is planned.
Yeah.
Whereas like guys are just like, hey, let's chill.
Let's go to the pub or something.
Oh my God, it drives me fucking up the wall.
Yeah. Like, it's actually crazy. And then people
commented, because he said, I don't know how men were able to dominate the world. And they said they did it on the backs of type A ladies. I was like, it's so true. Because let's be honest, like, you know what? That's why men needed women. That's why men invented marriage. Let's be real. If y'all needed to do housework at the same time, are you fucking kidding me? You would have had a meltdown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, think about it. You know what? It's so crazy to think about, like, even just like a couple generations ago, how different our society was in terms of like men. Like the whole, like, imagine, like, I can't even imagine, like, because obviously my workplace is quite diverse, right? Like, there's a lot of women. Our leader is a woman. Like, it's like, it's like very interesting. And I couldn't imagine if you went to work and it's all men, right? All guys working.
But sometimes there'll be secretaries that are women.
That's right. Yeah. Occasionally there'll be 1 or 2, secretaries that are the women, and everyone else is men, and all of them, their wives are at home. They cook, they clean, they press their suits for them. They literally, polish their shoes. They do all this shit. So literally all the guy has to worry about, he comes home, dinner's ready.
Yep.
All he has to worry about is, again, the bare minimum. Get up and get to work on time. Everything else is done for you. Your lunch is packed. Your fucking lunch is packed. All this shit. I'm just like, you know what?
Your breakfast is ready. Your lunch is ready. Your dinner is ready.
And all you have to do is go to the fucking office.
Yeah. No wonder you were able to work.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking kidding me?
And even then, it's like they probably didn't even do that good of a job. But like, it's like I look at like even just my life now as a single man, and I'm like, I mean, I wouldn't say my life's together in any way, shape, or form, but like even just having to like organize all your meals all the time is so much work. And I'm just like, oh, it would be so nice to live in that. I mean, I don't want to go back to that era, obviously, for many reasons. But like to have that somebody like cooking, cleaning,
well, that's
doing
the thing.
Everything for you.
I think this is what creates hostility in men, because men have always had it so easy. And I'm not saying working is easy, but it's a lot easier when you have someone else doing everything else for you.
Let's be honest, as people that have worked corporate jobs, like yes, it's stressful, yes, and whatever. But is it if literally everything else is done for you and it's all you have to do is that corporate job, it's not that hard. Exactly.
So now not only do they have to also, potentially do these other things if they don't find a woman to marry that will do all these other things for them, which nowadays that's hard to do.
Yeah.
But they also now have competition from women as well.
Yeah.
So now they can't just get away with only competing with men.
Yeah.
Now we have smart women coming up into the career ladder. Okay. And a lot of women, again, the reason why a lot of these men want women to have children is because when women have children, inevitably they are responsible for the children.
Yeah.
So they will end up, not failing, but like, getting behind in the workforce because they have to take care of the children. And that's still expected of women. Whereas men, even though they should share, at least try to share the responsibilities, oftentimes they don't.
Yeah.
So I think this is a reason why men are getting hostile and they're getting extra hyper toxic masculine traits, because they think that they have it unfairly
and they're entitled to have it
exactly.
This way.
Whereas they saw their dads growing up they saw their dads behave a certain way to their moms potentially. Maybe they saw their moms cooking everything for their dad and they see a different dynamic now, and they think it's unfair that now they have to do all this shit, like actually grow like an actual fucking grown up in today's day and age, and they just don't want to do it.
I know. And the thing is, honestly, guys, and we've talked about this before, society's changed. Unfortunately, nowadays, because everything is so fucking expensive, both people have to work in a partnership. Yeah. Like even for gays, any single couple, like both of us are working. So to have the housework fall on one person is just not fair, because you both are working. You both are full-time doing things. Like it's not fair to just be like relying on that one person.
Yeah, exactly. That would honestly, that would make me so mad.
Exactly.
This is why you got to live with your partner before you get married. 100%. Because you got to check if they're going to do the housework.
Yes. Very good point. Do you think Andrew Tate does any housework? Probably not.
Oh my God. Honestly, I kind of feel bad for him because I feel like he's actually miserable.
Yeah.
Like there's no way you can be a happy person and have these beliefs.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like you're...
But I wonder how many of these beliefs are actually real.
I know.
Like I wonder how much is for publicity.
He's definitely like some kind of a sociopath situation. Like this is not normal.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's for publicity, it's not normal.
Exactly. Because even if even partly he's a sociopath if it is for publicity.
Exactly.
Because he's promoting this image of himself that's not even real.
And also just like basically ruining society as we know it.
Exactly. So, by starting this Hustlers University.
Oh my God. Okay. Literally, can you get more cringe?
No.
Like the sunglasses indoors, the fucking, oh my God. In this one video I saw, it was so cringe.
What happened?
He like was not wearing a shirt, and then he had like some like Asian woman massaging him. Like he had a masseuse like in this live stream. I'm like, is this really fucking necessary, dude? Like, can you get more cringe?
Oh God, guys.
I'm like, oh my God, somebody just fucking ship him over somewhere. Like, I don't want to see this man.
Anyway, guys,
on that positive note,
let us know what you think about this episode in the comment section below if you're watching on YouTube. If you have had the unfortunate pleasure of witnessing some of Andrew Tate's little bite-sized social media chunks on your TikTok or wherever, let us know your thoughts, because obviously we've clearly expressed ours.
I'm really torn about talking about him though. I know that we just did, but it's like, oh God, are we like contributing to this publicity?
But I also think it's important when you see people promoting this kind of like negative,
to go against it.
Exactly.
I know I'm always torn. I'm like, do we talk about it to go against it? I don't know.
It's like the whole notoriety thing, right? Like they say, like, I'm not saying he's a serial killer, but like they're saying a lot of the time it's like not good to give those people notoriety.
Right. Yeah.
But like I feel like with this example, it's like he's just promoting this like horrible image and stuff, and I just feel like obligated to talk against it.
I know. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, we did it. So here we are. Yeah. Let us know your thoughts in the comments if you are watching on YouTube. Of course, give us a little like and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah.
And of course, follow us on whatever podcast platform you're listening to, whether it's Spotify or Apple.
Yeah.
Is it Apple?
iTunes. Apple Podcasts.
What's the difference between iTunes and Apple Podcasts? I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, subscribe. Make sure you give us a little rating. And of course, make sure you join us on Patreon. It is patreon.com/the SaVeg to listen to all of our previous exclusive episodes.
There's tons on there, guys.
Yeah, and they are all available for you to listen when you join. And we're going to also be filming and recording our July exclusive. We're going to be talking about the dating, the trials and tribulations of the dating world
in 2022.
God damn.
And that'd be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.